Taking a computer day, we'll try to catch up with the videos. I'll probably upload a couple of them today, I hope.
En tror jag bara är med.
This is a little back in time after the harvested had charging issues. New regulators were bought, and you could see that there were quite a difference in length on the connectors, and they are both in place. They're not one is loose. I had just loosened the one from that was easier to access here, so started with putting that into place, a new one there, and I had also gotten hold of small little bolts with hex heads rather than cross heads. So that went quite easy. The other one, it's a lot trickier because there is some shielding plate from the exhaust, so getting a screwdriver in there is just forget about it, but pliers and the screw came undone, so quite easy. On this one, one connector was also broken, and here I think it had been broken for a while because it was laying there on the side in there, and I could feel like a triangle thing as I tried to fish it out, but I lost it. I'm not sure where it ended up, but I'm quite sure it's outside of the generator at least, so I gave up on finding the piece. So after digging around for a while and giving up, I started installing the new unit, and it went in there fairly easily. It's a little tricky with springs and such. You need to kind of push it into its location before you can get the bolts to start, and the lower bolt was I was worried I would drop things, but everything went in there quite smoothly. Had started the diesel heater and was gonna heat it up. Wasn't that cold, but I knew it was low on power. I figured its warm engine would be easier to crank. Tightened up the belt tensioners, cleaned up the bogies some, and gave it a test. And no, it did not have enough power to go. I had forgotten, I had brought two batteries I thought, but I had forgotten to load one of the batteries, so I had to go get the other battery. Figured I let the two batteries be connected for a while and help transfer some charge to the big batteries on the machine. Well, not sure. Well, I let it sit like that for a while and checked the plugs on this bogie that still seems to produce a little bit of metal chips, or well, it's very fine pieces, but the rear plug, even if I cleaned it recently, had a little bit on it, so I'm gonna keep using the machine and look at it later. New try to start, and it fired. So with it up and running, I removed the batteries, closed everything up, put that little ladder up that I have forgotten several times, but it was a while ago now. Maybe it's time to bend it back into place once more. Third time's the charm. So took it out and made sure it ran for a while, and ensured that the batteries were topped up. Going slowly here and just throttling because the oil is cold and it starts beeping if you rev it too high. I've ended up, it ran well for a while now, but ended up blowing a hydraulic hose in the harvester head later on. Next like 10 minutes or so will just be me struggling with taking trees down. It will be a little faster once I have it up to heat, but you can jump to like 17 minutes or something like that in the video, because it will be quite long, this one, but a lot of it is just me slowly working my way. I won't bother you with talking through that, but the hydraulic hose replacement will be covered at starting around 17 minutes. Se hur det känns slita ratten om man ska ta oss. The season has changed. The mild weather we had that caused issues with getting any material out of the forest is gone, and now it's actually really good winter weather, 6-7 degrees below freezing Celsius. So what's that, in the 20s, low 20s, high teens in Fahrenheit. And it's one of the big hoses here feeding the feed roller, and realized we had to take the cover off to get access, and there was issues too. Well, one of the bolt, especially this one here, it's an insects type, and it was a little bit rounded on the inside since before, and the tool just wanted to slip out, and I kept working on. I've covered it in previous videos. There is a clamp at the top holding these, and it connects to a pipe. We tried with some luggage strap to kind of force the tool into place, but that didn't work. We ended up getting a battery operated angle grinder and fixing things. I changed my attention to replace. I had gotten hold of one extra regulator for the generators, changed one of those on the forwarder because they were also close to worn out. Made two sides of the bolt a little smooth for better grip with the big pipe branch, and that sorted things out so we could get the cover out of the way. And with that removed, there is good access. Had to remove that drain hose, the small one here also at the other end, to get access to remove it, and the clamp had been removed. New O-rings on these couplings that use O-rings. I had recently replaced the other end when I messed with the pipes earlier, but I'd rather replace the O-ring in extra time than have a leak here. They're not that expensive. So got the one end in place, also loosely fastened the clamp before we started bending this big ass pipe, and it was a struggle. Video footage wasn't the main focus, so missed kind of getting the other end in place. Then it was just a matter of tightening things up, tightening the clamp up, and the cover needed some hammering to get into place, and we found some bolts to replace them, but missed bringing the camera out when we tightened up the cover. So, but this one should be back in operation. The forwarder is not, but more in another video about that. Hopefully it will be done today also.